we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So
how do you say that? Air it out. Air it out.
Air it out.
What's going on, guys? We're back with the Air It Out podcast. I am your humble host, Jerome Jones. I'm super excited to be here with my man, Darren Braxton. What's going on, Darren?
What's good? What's good? Schedule releases out. Ravens, tough year for us, but let's get it. Let's get it.
We are definitely going to talk about that because, woo!
Because baby.
Woo, big trust. You're going to need that big trust.
Oh,
and we got my man down here, Mr. Avery Collins. What's going on, my man?
Here. How y'all doing? I mean, how y'all feeling? Everybody good. Schedule release is out. Everybody knows. We're gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get right into it, guys, because I am super excited about this. This is gonna be our schedule release podcast. We're gonna get into some draft grades as well later on. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get into the primetime games because these are the games that everybody's looking at. This is America's watching. What primetime games are you looking forward to the most? I'm gonna start with you, Avery. Which one do you want to see out of the schedule?
I mean, it's a ton of primetime games.
There it is.
A
lot of good ones too.
A lot of good ones to pick from. I'm not really like week one doesn't have me like, oh, I gotta see one of these primetime games. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I think they're solid, but if there's anyone in Sunday Night Football, Bears Rams, right? Like I gotta see that. Matthew Stafford in the new place. Justin Fields potentially starting for the Bears. Gonna see how that works. So that's gonna be that's gonna be interesting. But week one, nothing really hit me. Week two though, come on. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs Ravens, baby. Can Lamar finally get his first win against Patrick Mahomes? We gotta see now, and it's in Baltimore, so he's got that going for him. Everything like that. So I mean, that's gonna be a really interesting one right there. So I think right now on the schedule early on, because we know the two teams are going to be pretty good. That's like one of the big highlights, but. I think for me right now, overall on the schedule, Tom Brady returns to New England, y'all. Come on, week 3? Or is that week 4? Week 4, yeah. Tom Brady returns to New England, Sunday Night Football. Bucks at Patriots, baby. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the one.
Versus the hood.
I think that's the one right there. I think that's the one for me that I'm like, oh, snap. I forgot all about that. Because he didn't get a chance to play there last year, which NFL, they missed on that. They should have definitely did it last year. But I think out of everything that I see on the schedule so far, I think it's definitely, yeah, there you go. I think it's, Patriots at the Bucks. I think that's the one, man. I think that is the one that is like, yeah, we gotta see this one because that's gonna be a matchup right there. I mean, I'm excited to see how that's gonna unfold.
What about you, Darren?
So let's start off with where it needs to go, people. Ravens, Chiefs, week 2. We did it week 3 last time. Can we do it again? Can we actually get Lamar to play up to his potential with the new cast of guys we added around and actually get the win versus Patrick Mahomes? This has been basically the bug that's overshadowed Lamar for a while now. If he loses, that will be 0-4 versus Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, which spells almost a death sentence of, oh no, it's not that he might can't beat him, this, that, and the third. No. It's he can't beat him. And it's more solidified. It's not a question, it's a fact. So we need Lamar to win that game. But Chiefs, Bills, week 5.
I had that one circle too.
That one, I cannot wait. The high flying from both teams, the quarterbacks, the defenses have gotten a little bit better on both sides. Listen, it's going to be a good matchup. And then this is a matchup that you probably don't have, but Rams and Seahawks. Week 7, I believe. Mr. Matthew Stafford with the Rams going to Seattle. That's a good one. Let's see how Matthew Stafford plays there in a rivalry game for the first time with the 12. And let's see if with the fans possibly being more involved, will the 12 be that much of a factor?
I didn't realize that one, Darius. I forgot about that one. Nice. Okay, let's see it.
That was another one that was kind of on my list, Panthers and Patriots. But I was like, you know what? I feel like Cam is going to have a field day, and I'm not. I don't really want to. I'm not going to say I don't like seeing. I'm going to love watching that because I'm a Falcons fan. Still, please destroy the Panthers, but at the same time, it's just like I want to see Cam. I'm a Cam fan, so I want to see him destroy everybody, not a weakened Panthers team. I want to see him go off on everybody, the Chiefs, the Broncos. I want him to do everything but beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Like, that's all I want.
Listen, y'all sleeping on that Panthers defense, and I told y'all last year, give them 1 year, and the year after that, they're going to be nasty.
I'm not saying that.
I think it's going to be the year that defense is going to carry.
I'm not saying that.
In the offense the last couple of years, it's going to be that defense this year.
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm questioning what the offense is going to do. Is my whole thing. And so that's why I think Cam is going to just be like, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I want. And more importantly, it's Cam. Under Bill Belichick, having a full offseason, listen, man, I want Cam to snap. I want him to go undefeated until he meets the Falcons in the Super Bowl and win and lose. Excuse me. That's what I want to see happen this year. That's what I want to see happen. Obviously, it's probably not going to happen, but that's what I want to see happen.
All right, let's get to it. Let's get our next topic, and let's get to. Well, I didn't even say mine real quick. Let's get running back real quick. I forgot about myself. Let's see y'all. My favorite primetime game has to be the first game played. We haven't got a game all summer. I'm already ready for a game. It has to be the first game, and it's the Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. I get to see the Buccaneers whoop up on the Cowboys first game of the year. Come on!
Don't you say whoop?
I'm ready for that one. I'm ready for that. But
now watch out! Don't say whoop up on.
Nah, they're gonna
whoop up on. Don't forget that boy Dakota coming back.
I understand that his first game back though.
I want to see what it looks like first game back.
He's not gonna be rusty.
That Tampa offense with those receivers
he's not going to
against those cornerbacks that the Cowboys got.
He's not going to be rusty. He's going to be hungry. I think at the end of the day, the Bucs are probably going to win the game for sure. But it's not going to be a
like that.
I just want to see what he looks like. I'm not going to say he's going to be good.
The Cowboys beat up their defense a little bit, but it was mostly they got mostly rookies, so it's their first game.
Dakota is paid now. Dakota is paid. Watch out now.
I'm not talking about Dakota at this point. I'm talking about their defense, and that Bucs offense is already clicking. They already got their guys. They got Evans. They got Godwin. They got AB. They got Gronk. They got Rojo. They got Leonard. They got Tom Brady
coming back. They have
on a young defense that never played together before, and then the Buccaneers defense. Like, I think most of the America is gonna hate that game. I'm gonna be enjoying it. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Let's get to it's not gonna be a blowout. Is all I'm saying. You said beat up on. I don't think it's gonna be a beat up on. I think they're gonna win the game, but I don't think it's gonna be a beat up on.
We'll see. All right, favorite matchups of the entire schedule. So this means even if it's not a primetime game, your favorite matchups altogether. Darren, what is yours?
I think a Ravens Steelers matchup this year. Pick either one. Pick the Ravens or the Steelers matchup this year. Either one. Either one. Because in the slate of games between both of those Steelers matchups, we play 5 divisional games in a 7-week stretch to end the year, with the Steelers being in week 18. That could be for the AFC crown right there. Not the AFC North crown. I'm saying for the AFC crown.
Wow.
You never know with the Steelers at this point, especially with how that defense is. So I'm calling it. Pick either one of those, because that's going to lead to a lot of different things, and it's going to help or hurt a whole lot of different teams.
What do you think, Avery?
So right now it's between 3 games for me. Number 1, Ravens versus Chiefs. As we mentioned before, can Lamar beat the Chiefs? I'm not going to say can he beat Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes don't play defense. Can he beat the Chiefs? Because he hasn't yet to do that, to Darren's point, in the regular season. So I think that's going to be a big question, going into this season. The next game that I'm kind of really, really interested to see, and I hate that it's a running theme with the Chiefs, but the Chargers versus the Chiefs. Justin Herbert was playing really good last year. Listen. Week 3, that's going to be a really, really good game. I think week 3 has a myriad of games that I really want to see. I want to see that game. I obviously want to see the Bucs against the Rams that week as well. I think that's going to be a really good game. But yeah, those, and then even Washington versus Buffalo that week is going to be a phenomenal game. Don't sleep on Washington. That defense is legit. But what did I say? So I said Chiefs, Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers. And then the third one, I think it's probably week 4 so far. And I think this is like the game, like, because I think these are the 2 teams that may be at the top of the division. I'm gonna say Arizona and the Rams, man. I think that's going to be a really that's going to be a tough game. And I think, to Darren's point, there's certain, defining moments in a season for a team, whether that kind of dictate the flow and the outcome of who wins the division and different things. I think that can be one of those games right there. So between those three games, I'm not sure. And then like what's the word I'm looking for? A 6-man or honorable mention, Miami versus the Bucs, man. That's going to be something different. The reason I say that is because Miami's defense is legit. Tom Brady has always had issues facing Miami, even when he played the Patriots. Every year, the Dolphins, for some reason, would split with the Patriots, like especially at the end of the season. And so I'm just curious: was it a Tom Brady thing, or was it a Patriots thing? And so I'm curious to see that. Like I said, and the Dolphins are building, like what Flores is doing down there, man. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit as a coach. I think he needs to get way more credit for what he's building down there in Miami. He's doing a phenomenal job. If any, like, he's my pick for Coach of the Year already before the year starts.
Nice. All right. I'm gonna go out here, and this pick might be a very, very risky pick, but I'm gonna say, depending on what's going on, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of things going on, news and stuff like that. But this might be a Super Bowl game. This might be a Super Bowl preview. Chiefs versus Green Bay. I mean, high flying offense. If Aaron Rodgers is still going to be on that team, this is the game I want to see. This is the game of the year for me. I mean, I had a lot of them checked off with the Chiefs. Like, you talk about the Ravens have some matchups, the Chiefs have some really good matchups too. But that Chiefs versus Green Bay might be a Super Bowl matchup for me. There it says Jets and Panthers. Oh, because Darby.
Darnold.
Whatever. Darnold. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, Darnold versus his replacement. I'm curious to see that, especially his replacement who got weapons and stuff around him after the team didn't refuse to do that for Darnold. But now Darnold has some weapons and Christian McCaffrey, and he's reunited with Robbie Anderson and stuff like. I'm curious to see that. That's not bad.
Yeah, you gotta remember they picked up Terrence Marshall too from LSU. They got some receivers over there in with the Panthers. All right, let's get to our next topic. We're gonna go to your most exciting team, your most exciting game for your team. So, Avery, I'm gonna start off with you. What game for your Atlanta Falcons do you have circled on the map?
Is that really a question? I mean, is it really a question? Honorable mention, the Birds. The battle of the Birds, Eagles versus Falcons is always entertaining. I'm projecting the Falcons to win this game, not because I'm a Falcons fan, but based on the trajectory of the last 4 times the Eagles have come down to Atlanta, they lost. So that's the reason that I'm projecting that we win this game again, especially with the turnover that the Eagles had. There's still some question marks to see, are they going to be gelled in by then? Is Jalen Hurts going to be able to, take the next step in his second year? All those different things. So I'm assuming that the Falcons will win that game. So obviously that's something that's interesting. But there's really no question here. We get to play the reigning Super Bowl champs twice. So circle any one of those games. The reigning Super Bowl champs versus the Falcons. Like, we get a chance to go up against the best of the best. Like, that's it on the schedule for me. Like, there's nothing else on the schedule that I'm like, oh man, I gotta watch. Like, those are the games. We don't have. I would have, picked the Saints versus Falcons, but Drew Brees isn't there anymore. So I'm not saying that I'm going to sleep on them or anything like that, because they're still a phenomenal defense. They still got Alvin Kamara. They still got Michael Thomas. They still got Taysom Hill, who's a switchblade out there. So I'm not going to sleep on them. And they beat us without Drew Brees last year. So I'm not going to sleep on them. But the point is, it's like, it's the Bucs. Like, they just won the Super Bowl. Like, that's it.
Knock off the champs, man. You got to knock off the champs. All right. I dig it. All right, Darren. We already talked about some Ravens stuff already, man. You're a big Ravens fan. Your team got some matchups. I want to hear what is your favorite matchup for your Ravens.
So my favorite matchup has to be, like I said before, it has to be the favorite matchup, anyone versus the Steelers. But the one I'm most excited for, just to see, gotta be the Dolphins, actually. Dolphins in prime time on a Thursday night. And you have to think about like this. The Dolphins is an up-and-coming team versus us is a very, very good matchup. And then on top of that, the last 2 to 3 times we played them, we've blown them out. So for me, either way, it'll be an entertaining game. Either way, Lamar goes ahead and throws another 5 touchdowns in the middle of the season this time. Or you have an interesting back and forth game between a great defense that's really going to challenge Lamar and his receivers versus a good young team and their young offense trying to gel together versus a very good Baltimore defense. So I cannot really wait for that one. That's the one right there. Honorable mention, because if I didn't say this, I would feel bad. Lamar Jackson versus still possibly Mr. Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Everything going on Aaron Rodgers, that's why I didn't really want to mention it as much. But if he's still there and still playing the same Aaron Rodgers way, week 15, after we played 2 divisional opponents.
He got that chip on his shoulder. Best believe that.
And that's my point. Luckily, it's a home game for us. But, man, him in December, that's a good matchup right there. That is a great matchup.
All right, so it's my turn. I'm going to go my favorite team, my Philadelphia Eagles. the game that I got circled on a calendar, and I'm not gonna do the obvious thing because it's every year that I got the Cowboys. Every year the Cowboys is the team that I always got marked on it. So that's too obvious. Everybody knows how much I hate the Cowboys. Hate them. But being a longtime Eagles fan, grew up in the Philadelphia area. Avery, where did I just move to?
Oh man.
Man. I think Avery might not be right there, but I just moved to Atlanta.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I say, where did I just move to?
Oh, the A, down to the A. You know what I'm saying?
Down to the A. Week 1, Philadelphia. My team is coming down to my new home spot, and we play the Atlanta Falcons. Now, that's going to be exciting. I am trying to go to that game. That's going to be crazy because it will be my first time in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. That's the name of it, right? Mercedes-Benz Dome? Yep. So I'll be going there. See, I'm new to this place. I haven't been down here for a month yet. So me being down in the A, my favorite team is going to be there week 1. I'm trying to go to this game. I'm looking into ticket prices today. I'm trying to be down there and repping my green against the Dirty Birds. And if we win, man, I mean, they're gonna have to fly me back to Philadelphia because I'm not gonna stop.
Maybe I'll try to make the trip down there with you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
let's do that. Maybe we can tape us and put some clips on air it out next time we have a podcast after that. Let's do that.
For sure.
But yeah, that's the game I got circled. I'm like, as soon as I seen that with the Falcons, literally the first game of the week. And then they coming down here, I was like, this is like faith. Like, this is like incredible. So that game, I got to go down. I'm trying to bring as many people as I can down. If the Eagles lose, man, it's going to hurt. But if the Eagles win, y'all going to have to fly me back to Philadelphia because I'm not going to start talking about, especially with all the offensive weapons y'all got, man. It's scary, but I have to go to that one. I have to be there. That one's going to be great. I'm going to love that. All right, let's get to our next one. Head-to-head matchup. So these are players versus players that you want to see go against each other. Darren, I want you to go first. Who you got?
All right, so as I told you guys before the show started, that this one had to give real good thought to because there's so many great matchups in the league. But for this one, this is one that I feel as though not only you guys would enjoy, but everyone would love to know, and everyone already should know. But Jair Alexander versus almost anyone is scary. And when you look at everyone that he has to play this year, New Orleans with Michael Thomas to start it off. Then you have Cincinnati with Chase and T. Higgins. Those two big body guys that's going to definitely try to outmuscle him. Then you have Arizona with that plethora of wide receivers and led by DeAndre Hopkins. Then the Chiefs, their plethora of speedsters around there. The Seahawks, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. The Vikings and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. And then you still have to end it off with Cleveland with Odell and Jarvis. Jair's got his work cut out for him. But
that's crazy.
But if he has another year like he did last year,
yeah,
my man.
Yeah,
you might can just take that number 1 spot. If you can go and have a year like he did last year.
No, if he don't give up more than like 3 touchdowns,
if he has a year like he did last year against this lineup, after consecutive years of showing elite skills, you have to might consider like, hey,
yeah,
he might be that new number 1 corner. I'm not to discredit anyone else. I still love the Jaylen Ramsey. I still love the Gilmores, but Jair Alexander. It's like I said, guys. I traded for him 1 time in Madden. I give up 2 first-round picks and one of my best players every time to get him. He's that dynamic, that effective on the field in the game and in real life. Just calling it what it is.
Wow, that was a good one, Darren. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Avery, what you got, my man?
Yeah, that was very solid. And I agree. If he does have that type of success that he had last year versus that lineup, I think you would. I mean, obviously you would have to start the conversation. I think you should start the conversation now. He's in my top 3.
Sure.
But I think then
at number 1 spot.
I would say if he does in fact have that type of impact, that type of season, then you got to start considering up in that 1 spot. But for me, it's tough, right? It's a lot. I'm really upset that I don't think we're going to be able to see it in the prime of their careers, because it's not going to happen this year. And I think after this year, I wouldn't consider him in his prime anymore. But I really, really wanted to see, and I'm surprised it's just never happened. I'm surprised we've never gotten a chance to see Julio versus Jaylen Ramsey. That is really frustrating to me. I would have loved to have seen it. I think after this year, Julio's not going to be considered in the prime of his career. So I would have loved to see Jaylen Ramsey versus Julio. It's kind of like not being able to see Kobe versus LeBron in the finals. Like, that's kind of frustrating, unfortunately, but I do want to see Julio versus the Dolphins, right? You got Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. That's going to be a phenomenal matchup there. It doesn't matter which side he's on. Those are 2 dogs on either side. He's going to have to, they're going to have their work cut out for him. So, Calvin Ridley and Julio and Kyle versus that like I said, that Dolphins secondary is no joke. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Another one that I'm looking forward to see is Jaylen Ramsey. Every year, Jaylen Ramsey versus Deandre Hopkins, man. I love watching that matchup. Them two, they just go at it, man. Like, they really just love to go at it every single year. And I love the mutual respect that they have. There's no real trash talking between the 2 guys. They're dogs. They're physical. They're strong. They're good at what they do. Neither one gives up anything. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing that matchup every single year. That's probably, out of every wide receiver matchup, that's my favorite, because I haven't been able to see Julio versus Jaylen Ramsey. That's easily my favorite matchup every single year. DeAndre Hopkins versus Jaylen Ramsey.
Twice a year.
Twice a year, baby. You gotta love it. But like I said, just think about that. We've never seen Jaylen Ramsey versus Julio Jones. And if they say they put him on the schedule next year, it's like, okay, then what? Again, Julio's going to be, 33 at that point? Like, it's like he's going to be considered out of his prime at that point, and different things like that. The times that we had a chance to see him, I think Jaylen, when he was on the Jaguars, he was sitting out because of injury. He wanted to be traded. And then I think they played the Rams maybe 2 years ago. I think Jaylen wasn't on the team just yet, or he had just gotten traded to him and was missing the first game or something like that, where he wasn't able to play. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I was extremely upset. I think that's what it was. I think he had just gotten traded to the team, and he wasn't able to get on the field in time. So I'm like, we've never gotten a chance to see Jaylen Ramsey versus Julio Jones. It's really frustrating, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens next year, and we'll see from there.
Well, I'm gonna hop on y'all train, but now thinking about it, I do have an extra one now, so I want to do that one after. But the guy that Avery just said, Jaylen Ramsey, consensus number 1 cornerback at right now, at least. Everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody in the moms will say that he's the number 1 corner right now. Some might debate it, but he's at least top 2, right? Against last year's Rookie of the Year, Justin Jefferson. If you haven't got a chance to see it yet, I want to see Justin Jefferson take that next step, and who better to see him do that with against the best corner. So that's one I'm looking forward to. But this one I really want to see. Actually, Now thinking about it, because I always do the cornerback wide receiver thing, being an ex DB. I had to think a little bit outside the box with this one. And it's actually one of the players that we talked about and argued about a little bit last week. I picked it. September 12th, the football team, and again, football team, please never change your name. I love that name.
That really is so tough. It really is.
Football team.
It's really
team,
tough.
It feels like I'm literally like trolling them every time I say their name. But it's their name.
It don't sound like a troll to me. It sounds dope. But go ahead.
I feel like I'm trolling them every time I say that. But I'm an Eagles fan, so the Washington Redskins. Well, I messed up already. Washington football team versus the Chargers. Chase Young versus Rashawn Slater. Now, if you guys don't know, Rashawn Slater had his way with Chase Young in college. Chase Young had a year in the NFL now, so he got some NFL experience. I want to see that matchup. I want to see them go against each other. I hope they're on the same side because I do want to see that matchup. That is an underrated matchup. I want to see how that goes. Will Rashawn Slater put it down again, or will Chase get his revenge? I want to see that. That's going to be crazy. But let's get to our next one. We're going to go with our favorite rookie matchups. So rookie against rookie. Darren, you go first. Who you excited to see first?
So kind of easy actually. Honorable mention has to go to Wilson and Lawrence for me. Just those two are always going to be connected with being the 1 and 2 picks, and then having them play early, kind of in the year, just to see who's already developing pretty well so far throughout the season. I think that's a great matchup there. But my matchup actually is one that is going to be later on in the year, and these two teams might be really seeing if that guy is their quarterback forever, and where can that quarterback really take them. And that matchup is in Jamar Chase, Patrick Surtain. LSU versus Alabama. All they did was change the stripes. Oh, man, listen, it's going to be a great matchup right there. Man. It's going to be a great matchup. I cannot wait. And also, Bateman versus Newsome. That's going to be the matchup for the years to come because, honestly, I do not trust that Denzel Ward and Brady Williams will be the 2 starting corners for the Browns after this year. I think one of them will get knocked down easily.
It's definitely going to be Greedy, if anything. If anything, it's going to be Greedy. Greedy's the one that had been playing the least amount right now. So
listen, they both have a strenuous injury history. So I can't knock them, but one of them's going to be going.
Yeah. All right, Avery, what you got?
Obviously the obvious pick is Wilson versus Lawrence, right? Like that's the one, right? I think that's going to be a really good one. Mine is actually going to go a little bit off the cuff of the genre here. So it's going to be a rookie versus a 1-year player, like somebody who's been in the league 1 year.
That's not fair.
I know, but I do want to see it though, because the last time that they played, listen. I just want to see AJ Terrell versus AJ Smith.
I do it.
That's what I want to see, man. I want to see if it's gonna be a battle out there. I want to see what they can do, right? And I'm assuming that Devontae is probably going to play his way into the number 1 spot. And so AJ is clearly our number 1 corner at this point. And so I would love. I'm going to be interested to see that right there for sure.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna be the boring person and I'm gonna say Trevor versus Wilson. And the reason why is not because it is because 1 or 2, obviously. But I want to see that because I think the teams themselves are pretty closer than any other kind of like matchups. And you got 2 quarterbacks. So you got Zach Wilson. He got a whole bunch of new weapons now. You know, they got a running back now. You got Trevor Lawrence. He playing with his college running back. And I think that's going to get a lot of hype to it. I think that's going to be a great matchup for me. And see,
Tim Tebow throws Trevor Lawrence a touchdown pass. That's my hot take.
I knew Tebow signed him.
Listen, they're gonna use him at like a Taysom Hill, I believe, and they're gonna throw a touchdown pass to Trevor Lawrence. With that, I'm out. I gotta go.
You know, the crazy thing is, me and Ray was after last night's podcast, we was talking about this, and we looked at the tight ends that the Jags had, and we was like, wow, Tim Tebow might actually be the starter. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us today, guys, man. We're going to cut it a little bit short right here. Thank everybody for checking us out. Make sure you check us out on InsideTheHatches.com, where you can find all our content. Go on our social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure you go check that out with all our great content and stuff like that on there as well. And make sure you check out our player interviews. We have our player interviews are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. A lot of players, a lot of rookies that are going into the league now. We interview them, so we want you to listen to them. They might be on your favorite team, so go in there, check out what they had to say before they got drafted, and who they are as a person. Inside the Hatches. Search it inside your favorite podcast, as well as make sure you go on our YouTube channel. So if you can't watch this live, make sure you go on our YouTube channel. You can find all our podcasts on there. You can listen to the old ones. You can listen to the ones new on there as well. And just support us, man. Like, share, subscribe to us on there as well. Let your friends hear what we gotta say as well, because we creating something good down here and with Inside the Hatches, man. So I'm your host, Jerome Jones. We got Darren Braxton. We had Avery Collins. Guys, thank y'all so much for checking us out, and we see y'all next week. Peace.